So, I've been feeling a little motivated lately to say the Devil May Cry memes, except the DMC mobile game beta just ended as I got access to it, so I was kinda left very disappointed. Star Rail's turn-based combat is so slow, and I've even tried punishing Grey Raven as well, which just ended up annoying me with its ability bar. I really wanted a party with the DMC mobile game, but there was no food, no drinks, but at least the only babes in all these other games didn't leave. Until Yoastar dropped this new game. And this is Aether, a solid instance-based hack-and-slash gacha game to really scratch that DMC itch for those without the time to invest into learning how to use Perfect Judgment cut for hours on end on DMC5. And the best part is that it comes without the terrible gacha rate since it's published by the exact same developer of the generous Azure Lane Yoastar. In terms of story, humanity has uploaded themselves into the virtual world Gaia to preserve their race, and you, as the admin, are a commander of a group of modifiers, the antivirus software of Gaia that has taken on human forms to counter the Visbanes, the bugs that have taken on monstrous forms to plague Gaia. It initially comes across as a fairly generic science fiction theme anime plotline that doesn't rely on fancy animated cutscenes, yet its characters keep it extremely interesting to carry the game alongside its decent CGs at times. Fortunately though, if you are a fan of visual novel style games, the skip button exists too for the Genshin or Star Rail players looking for refuge after disappointment at the hands of Hoyo's gacha again. So don't worry about missing some dialogue you'll never ever see. Because Hoyoverse is the only company that does that for some odd reason. And let's make another Hoyoverse jab while we're still here, shall we? Censorship has avoided this game entirely, so the cultured players can enjoy the physics. And if you didn't already know, Yoastar literally moved their headquarters to Japan just to avoid censorship laws for us cultured folk. Absolutely diabolical. Also, you can't have a company that sells cosmetics without a maid costume, as well as this dress that looks a bit like 2B's dress. I'm certain there will be more, and judging by Azure Lane's costume choices, I think we're in for some good shit. To make things even better, the character designs are excellently done. The playable characters or modifiers are named after gods from Greek, Egyptian, Japanese, and Norse mythology, and have cultural references splashed over the sci-fi designs in line with the god that they're actually named after. Once you roll for characters on the gacha or earn them from a main story mission, you can then upgrade them in the main menu with materials and give them sigils for set bonuses to even power them up further. Skills and weapons are upgraded with farmable materials, and you can also equip functors to weapons, which functions as weapon enhancement in the form of mythological creatures, all with their own little backstory as well. Which, of course, brings us to the gacha, because you have to roll for them, of course. As you might know, I like talking about gacha rates, but I'll keep it short since I do know a lot of people tend to get really bored when I ramble about it. Each pull costs a total of 2000 shards with a free A rank or SR character per 10 pull and a total of 70 pity for the SSR character. 1.6 SSR rate with a 50-50 for the limited banner isn't as generous as Azure Lane's, but well, it's a definite step up from Hoyo games. The 5-star SSR functors for your weapons are from a separate banner, which you can then choose which faction you want to roll for, and even choose a specific functor for the character of your choice. And to top it off, it's permanent and will never disappear, so your pity stays forever. And if you've played Star Rail or Genshin, this is pure insanity, and Yoastar's generosity to the average free-to-play player reaches no bounds. And now comes the part where I talk about the combat. The combat is the main attraction of this game, and I love it way too much. Each character comes with 3 base attacks, 4 if you include the ultimate attack, which are very responsive with a specialized dodge for each character. You do have limited dodge charges, but it does recharge very quickly and far quicker than punishing Grey Raven. And to make this game even more compelling than most other instance-based hack and slash gacha games, the higher base rarity characters like the SRs and the SSRs all have their own built-in combos with these 3 attacks, which isn't quite up there with the button holds in DMC, but it beats mindless button mashing any day. There are even joint ultimate abilities where you bring 2 or more listed synergy characters who have lore relevance, who will do double the damage when they hit, and they're seriously stylish as all hell to use. The only downside really is that memorizing combos tends to be a little bit tedious when the only way to check for your combos is to run the specific training mode for each character. On the bright side though, they give free 30 gems that go to your gacha savings for your first training run per character, so they do reward you for your troubles. While the game is still newly released at the point of this review, this is the perfect time to re-roll. They give 40 free pulls with a guaranteed SSR Asura in 40 rolls on the standard banner for your first 40 rolls, who honestly sates a thirst I really didn't know I had for Asura's Wrath. And of course, you get plenty more rolls as you level up. Even if this does disappear, the game gives mountains of premium currency for literally everything, from running the story, to getting achievements, to doing new player quests and logging in for 7 days, and of course the free lane of the battle pass. It's really to the point I've accumulated easily 100 plus pulls on the banners by chapter 6 of the main story within about a day or 2. To make things even better, the Chinese server of this game has been around for the past 2 years, so to all you free-to-play players out there, save up for your SSR husbandos and waifus of your choice. Tsukuyomi is still spicy though, so I won't blame you for blowing your entire lot of gems on her while she's still here. I definitely did. And of course for the physics. And I think it's safe to assure you, it's fully possible to play this game completely free to play. But there is one thing I unfortunately did get tempted by for about 3 USD total, and that's all I will spend on this game at this stage. For your first top up of $2.99 US dollars, of which you can use the gems for pretty much anything you want, you even get all the required copies of Buzembo Tengu for a total of $2.99 if you want to get her to evolve to the maximum smoking sexy style triple S rank. As you can tell, extra copies of characters from the gacha can then be used to transcend them from A to S to SS to triple S and then to Omega rank once you have enough copies, which all comes down to stat boosts, rank boosts, and of course, motivation boosts to solo bosses in game. And this also means that your A rank or B rank waifus are not irrelevant. They too can become an SSR rank waifu if you wanted it to be. You might already be wondering though, why did I spend 3 USD on Buzembo Tengu? It's because Buzembo is Yostar's A rank SR, who is another one of Vergil's illegitimate children with judgment cuts on her 3rd skill that have 3 stacks that accumulate when you use your other 2 abilities. And of course, you can't have Vergil without the one, the only judgment cut end that's her ultimate to make her even better. She's even been ironically priced to a similar cost for Vergil's DLC on DMC5 on Steam to my knowledge. A 3 USD well spent, especially with how much I'd like to thank Yostar for my experience with Azure Lane, and of course for the spicy SSRs from the free gems that they gave, including the limited SSR because of how generous they are with the rates. And with that, I now summon the verdict for Aether so far up to chapter 6 of the game on day 3 or 4 post-released as of writing this script. This game gets an easy 9 out of 10 for its solid gameplay paired with a surprisingly interesting and fresh story with some hints towards a far deeper plot. It's chock full of waifus like Hodur, who is one step away from a Game of Thrones reference, yet another visit from the FBI, and of course, Vergil's next child support payment evasion, all of which have their respective backstories and fully animated character models on the main menu, so you can admire your waifus in 3D, and of course the physics. I think the only complaint I really have is that there is no dedicated PC port of the game, unlike Punishing Grey Raven and Honkai Impact III. If you do play this game on PC, you'll need Nox or BlueStacks to run it, where I used to use BlueStacks to play Aether and then swap the Nox since it performs so much better. Alternatively, if you are running on a lower end PC, use Mew Emulator instead. If you do play on mobile though, I recommend at least 4GB of RAM if you want to run the game smoothly. It does seem very graphically intense despite being arena based. You might scrape by on 3GB of RAM if you drop the graphics quality a fair bit, which shouldn't be too bad on a small screen, but I guess it will still be playable. My honest recommendation is to definitely play Aether with a controller and on PC with an emulator at this stage. Yoastar has impressed me yet again with this close to AAA experience on mobile, and I think I have myself a new favorite game outside of Blue Archive. I only just found out this game existed recently and I just knew I had to review it with how awesome it is. There is one final catch though. No auto battle, so the auto battle stands will have to play the game for once. Don't worry though, stage is clear in 2 minutes if you play your cards right, and I don't know what you expected from a hack and slash game. And now that is finally all I have to say about Aether. Highly recommend if you're waiting for DMC to return someday, and as always, stay safe, stay humble, and of course, stay motivated. This is the Knight, and we will see you next time.